Hello, welcome back. Today we are going to go over the Rav4 from 2006 to 2012. The third gen Rav4 is known for its reliability. It's well known to last 250,000 miles, and if it's well maintained, could last 400,000 miles and more. Today, I'll give you a brief breakdown of the third gen Toyota Rav4, then break down its common issues to better educate you about your future purchase or your current ride. Let's get started. In America, we received the long wheelbase version equipped with either the 2.4-liter 2AZ FE motor with 166 horsepower, which was replaced in 2009 with a 2.5-liter AR FE motor with 178 horsepower alongside with its facelift, or you had an optional 270 horsepower V6. Now, just like all cars, it has issues. Do you have a check engine light and your motor is running rough? Well, misfires are common. This issue is more correlated with wear and tear, and when this happens, it's more than often going to be the coils at this age. They are fairly easy to replace, so go ahead and replace all of them while you're at it, and check the spark plugs. Do you ever go to the gas station and try to pump your gas and it clicks off automatically and does that kind of back to back? Well, that could very well be your Evap canister. It's located on the driver's side underneath the driver's side door, and you just got to replace that. There are some sketchy declogging methods that you could do, but I just replace it. Or if you have the Evap code and the pump is not clicking off, I'll go ahead and check out that gas cap. If the rubber seal is corroded, then go ahead and replace that gas cap. O2 sensors can also be an issue, and especially with age, once again. It should be combined with a rough running car as well as a check engine light. And if that's happening to you, then most likely you can't pass the state's emissions test. And that's not fun. So grab yourself an O2 sensor wrench, which will make the job a whole lot easier, and replace that O2 sensor. WD-40 is your friend. Another wear and tear item is front sway bar end links. If you're driving and you hear some sort of rattle, then that could very well be the culprit. Go ahead and grab that end link and shake it, and if it moves at all, then they need to be replaced. And go ahead and get in alignment after you replace it. All the parts I talk about will be linked down below for your convenience, and that's one great way to help out this channel as well, and I really appreciate it. Oil leaks are common with all cars, but the most common spot for the inline-4 motor to be leaking is the timing cover seal. It's not a super easy job, so getting someone with experience to do it is probably your best bet unless you have a good day's worth of time as a DIYer. But if you do get it done, or if you do it yourself, I'll go ahead and replace the timing chain guides and tensioner as well. On the V6, the VVTi, or variable valve timing motor, the VVTi hose can burst. If the hose does end up bursting, then you need to stop running the engine immediately before you really blow the engine, because that oil will be spewing out. The line is located on the back passenger side of the engine, and it's usually the rubber elbow that bursts. Toyota does sell a replacement part that's all metal, which will prevent it from bursting in the future. In the 2.4-liter inline-4 motor, burning oil is a common issue. They have a tendency to start burning around 70k-ish miles, and this issue was also prevalent in the last generation as well. So if you're looking at second gen, take note or check out my video breaking it down. Basically, the oil rings have subpar lubrication, so they tend to go bad prematurely and cause the engine oil to slip past the rings and burn up. If you keep the oil topped off, then you won't have any issues. So if you have a Rav4 from 06 to 09 with a 2.4-liter, keep an eye on that. Finally, the catalytic converter can clog up. How does it clog up, you ask? Well, when the motor, particularly the 2.4-liter, burns oil, that oil gets siphoned through the catalytic converter because the converter is supposed to clean the fumes and clogs up the converter, therefore ultimately clogging up the catalytic converter prematurely. So if the catalytic converter has been replaced under 200,000 miles, then expect the motor to be burning oil. And with that, if it's burning oil, that means the motor can overheat due to lack of oil. So take out the dipstick, look at the dipstick, look at the end of the dipstick, and if it looks kind of burnt, then that motor has been overheated and potentially ran with low oil. So that motor will not last 400,000 miles. If you want to learn more about the direct competition of the 3rd Gen Rav4, check out this video, the 3rd Gen Honda CR-V. This is Chris AutoMotivate. Always appreciate and respect one another. I'll see you next time.